Okay, it's official. Paul McCartney with Dave Grohl, Pat Smear, and Chris Novoselic is the best band ever. So some of you may remember 12-12-12 as the relief concert for Hurricane Sandy, and a film version was released directed by Amir Bar-Lev, and for some reason only came out in the Philippines now. But anyway, 12-12-12, which is what I'm going to refer to this as, is kind of like a concert film plus sort of documentary about this concert and the days leading up to it. And there's some, footage of Hurricane Sandy, and you've got lots of little interviews with different people talking about the concert and the tragedy. And to be really, really honest, I almost cried watching this movie, but because of the music. And the music here is incredible. I love the concert so much. I will get to that later. But I have to be objective. I have to judge this as both a concert film and a documentary. And honestly, I would have rather had this as just a concert film. This is a really tough thing to critique because, again, it's two very different things, neither of which I really know how to talk about very well. It's not the best concert film in the world, it's definitely not the best documentary in the world, but anyway, I will try my best talking about this. So, in terms of, being a concert film, I do think it's shot very, very well. There are lots of different gimmicks that happen on stage. I mean, it's not just performances. Like, they only had a couple of weeks, I think, to put this together, but they were still able to get lots of performers, and each performer did bring something interesting to the table. And what's so nice about this kind of concert is that it really brings out these dramatic performances. Like, they really, you get the feeling that these guys are performing for a cause. And really, in terms of critiquing concert movies, the only way I know how to critique them is the way it's shot, the way it's edited, and the music itself. And the music itself here, it's mind blowing. This is like one of the biggest lineups ever. It's so good. Okay, I'm just gonna read through the list here on Wikipedia, and I'll make my comments as I go. So the whole concert opened up with Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band. I'm not a huge Springsteen fan, but he was great, and he really, really had emotion in his songs, and it just made me want to listen to Springsteen. So a new fan here, I guess. Then you got freaking Roger Waters, man, and he surprisingly he did such a great job. Like, I was kind of worried that he might not be able to handle like gigantic, huge stadium, Madison Square Garden. What am I talking about? It's Roger Waters, so he was great. It should be noted that he did a version of Comfortably Numb with Eddie Vedder doing the vocals, and it's great to see these titans like collaborate in a song. And you got Adam Sandler and Paul Schaefer doing an actually really, really funny rendition of Hallelujah called Sandy Screw Ya, and it really, really connected with the audience, and it's just really funny even if I'm not from New York. Then you have Bon Jovi, who I have mixed feelings about in terms of live, performances, because Bon Jovi really can't hit those notes anymore, but he's still extremely energetic. And then one of my favorite segments of this entire thing, they only did two songs, but the Rolling Stones are such performers. They blow everyone else out of the water almost because they're just so energetic. Mick Jagger really has the moves, okay, and it's incredible. But even greater is hearing that the Who was going to perform. The Who again, they're kind of you really can tell that they're kind of aged, but it like just seeing them on stage, and it's so great. Like, I think they opened with no, they didn't open with Bob O'Reilly, but when they played Bob O'Reilly, it's blew my mind. Then there was a short segment of Kanye West, and that seemed kind of weird, out of place, because everyone else is like classic rocker. Kanye popped out, and he was good. It's just that he just kind of left afterwards. And then they got Billy Joel on. Billy Joel's Billy Joel. He's great, except for some reason the audience wasn't applauding as much. But whatever, it's Billy Joel. Then Chris Martin of Coldplay was there. It's unfortunate that the whole band wasn't able to be there, but Chris Martin did a good job. He did an acoustic set, and most notably, he played "Losing My Religion" with Michael Stipe. Ah! And the concert ended with Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney is like, if you want to end the concert right, do it, Paul McCartney, and Live and Let Die. It's an amazing performance, and he brought in Alicia Keys to do Empire State of Mind, and I'm not the biggest fan of that song, but it felt like the perfect ending for this concert. I have to mention that as good as all the musicians were, it was very unbalanced. Like, a lot of performers got way more time than the others, and I would have liked it to be equal. Even if some performers really did have bigger set lists, it would have been still, nice to see everyone have equal screen time. And I really, really would have appreciated them focusing on the audience, because that's one of the best things about the concert footage, is seeing reactions from the audience. And then we get to the documentary part, and honestly, it just feels so supplementary that it didn't need to be there. It really just felt like a breather in between songs, and that's a bad thing. Because when you say documentary does not mean, footage, just like stock footage and stuff. It has to, bring out something like an insight or something. And this footage here doesn't really bring anything new at all. The interviews they have with random people are just that. They're extremely random. They really don't give any new information. And documentary parts just do not hit the emotional high I think they're supposed to. I mean, this is tragedy. This is a natural disaster, and it just doesn't really feel that way. Like, there's way more emotion in the concert. So unfortunately, 12 12 12 actually does feel a bit too long in some parts, just because there are these extended, segments where it just shows footage of stuff that, doesn't really add to the experience. Ultimately, 12 12 12 really is just better as a concert film because everything you need is there. There is the emotion, there's the drama. If you want, you know, people crying, people reactions, stuff like that, just to, show how New York was able to rise out of this tragedy, just look at the audience. It's all there in the concert, so you really didn't need the documentary part, in my opinion. So yeah, 12 12 12 is a mixed bag, but if you search for the footage of the concert online, it's really worth watching. I promise you. Okay, so that is my review of 12 12 12. What did you guys think of the concert? Have you seen it? Who was your favorite performer in that set? Mine definitely had to be either McCartney or the Rolling Stones. I would kill to see either of them live. So whatever you guys think, please leave me a comment. Let's have a conversation.